Automotive pop quiz. Which car maker do you think pioneered the introduction of adaptive cruise control in the market? Now, I believe many of you would probably have guessed Volvo, and if you had, you would be wrong. You see, as much as Volvo is synonymous with safety, Volvo actually did not pioneer a lot of the common safety features in the market. Because you see, ABS, for example, was first brought to market by Mercedes-Benz in the W126 S-Class. And they repeated that feat in 1999 by being the first to introduce radar-based adaptive cruise control, once again in the S-Class, but of course in the W220 S-Class. Then later on, with the 221 S-Class, they went one step further with Distronic Plus that has the capability of bringing the car to a complete stop. So today I find myself in a Mercedes E-Class, and this is not even the current E-Class, but rather a 10-year-old W212 facelift. Now this example is a Japan parallel import. Well, it comes with rather different specs compared to the locally assembled counterparts. So in the area of safety, this car gets blind spot warning, it gets autonomous emergency braking, which Mercedes call pre-safe, it has attention assist, it has blind spot assist. So if there was, say, a motorbike that is flashing right past me and I didn't know, I move my steering across, the steering will pull me back. Just as if I try to drift across the next lane without signaling, the steering will actually vibrate and pull me back. It also has Distronic Plus, which is adaptive cruise control that allows the car to autonomously maintain its distance with the car in front without any input from the driver. So of course, this is not cutting-edge technology. Today you find this feature even in a Pro Duo Myvi, but bear in mind, this car now I'm driving is a 10-year-old car. It doesn't even qualify for a loan anymore. Back at that time, this was cutting-edge technology. So I am going to test out if it's still good.
This video is brought to you by Evo Club Car Wash. Our motto is service and solutions. You can bring your car to us for deep cleaning, shining, full-on restoration, or just a regular wash. Whatever it is you need help sorting out on your car, we are more than happy to assist. To get in touch with us, drop us a line on Facebook, Instagram, or WhatsApp us on the number on your screen now.
Okay, so to get underway, all I had to do was just tap the accelerator and the car just goes. I'm going to need to take the U-turn now. So as I move to the side, the car very intelligently recognizes the vehicle in front and brings the car to a full stop. My legs are totally not on either pedal at all. You see, my thighs here, I am totally not touching the pedals at all at this moment in time. And lights red, cars come to a full stop. Okay, so at this moment, I've set the Distronic Plus to 150 kilometers per hour purely for demonstration purposes. But the car is holding speed at 90 kilometers per hour. Why? Because that Fortuner in front is maintaining at 90 kilometers per hour. So the right lane is clear. I am going to put my signals up, and as I move towards the right lane, the car recognizes the road in front is clear and it accelerates accordingly to the speed that I have set. And for the purpose of this demo, I've set a very generous follow distance to give myself some margin for error. And we are coming up to traffic now, so let's see. Wow, okay, I can feel the car slowing down already, so very conservative setting. All right, and let's give this system a bit more of a test. So, woo, okay. So that was the pre-save system warning me of the Myvi in front, and well, I decided not to take the risk and jumped in with the brakes. So right now I'm cruising on this small town road in Cheras. I've very conservatively set the follow distance to its maximum and keeping a speed of 80 kilometers per hour. Well, actually the 212's handling is not bad. It's stringing together these curves very well. Okay, the road thus far is rather clear, and as I drift across these lane markers, the steering gives a bit of a gentle vibration, and very subtly it pulls me back to the lane. So just now we were charging too fast, and I decided to not take chances and step on the brakes. But now traffic in front is moving forward. All I have to do is, well, resume the Distronic control. That's it. The car's moving again, and car in front is coming to a stop. We are coming to a stop as well. Slowing down, car in front is rolling, so we continue to roll. And for a 10-year-old system, this is operating with the kind of smoothness and intelligence that is almost at the level of many newer cars that I've tested today. So what this means is that the system in Mercedes here, as it was 10 years ago, is already rather mature and rather well calibrated. See, what's interesting is this. When Honda first introduced Honda Sensing in Malaysia, one of the things the engineers told us was that they actually commissioned a few prototypes and ran a lot of miles here on the Malaysian roads to adapt and teach their systems to better operate in Malaysian traffic conditions. But quite amazingly, this Japan spec Distronic Plus, which obviously is not homologated for Malaysia, it actually works pretty well. So far, I mean, there are times where I had to step in and intervene, but the overall intelligence of this unit, I would say, is pretty commendable for a 10-year-old car. So the X50 in front moves. What I need to do is I just gently tap on the accelerator pedal. You see my legs are off the pedal, right? And yeah, the car is moving along and it is maintaining a good follow distance. Not only that, the autonomous throttle and brake inputs are also pleasantly smooth. It's not jerky. It moves with an impressive degree of polish. And the way the car comes to a stop, it's so smooth. And you know, it brings us to that point where all these adaptive cruise control systems, I know a lot of driving purists, even I myself, I've dismissed all these things, but when you are negotiating this kind of traffic day in, day out, having adaptive cruise control in your car, when you can delegate all these boring driving tasks to the machine, that's great. We of course don't want the ACCs to take over when we are doing our Sunday or Saturday morning drives to Genting and Chin Swee, but this kind of traffic jam, honestly, you drive yourself for what? Let the car drive itself lah, right? So right now, once again, traffic in front is moving forward, just a quick tap of the accelerator pedal, off I go. Now that C-Class is coming in, let's see whether it recognizes or not. Oh, recognize, not bad. And it's maintaining a very conservative following distance as I have set. So to show you the ADAS menu, we have, well, this is stability control. You have steering assist, which you can switch on and off. You have pre-safe braking, which is basically Mercedes speak for autonomous emergency braking, which you can also switch on and off. You have attention assist, which you can adjust the sensitivity of it. And you have blind spot assist, not warning, but assist. So it will actually actively steer your car when it detects that you are driving onto the path of an oncoming vehicle. Then you also have lane keep assist, which you can adjust the sensitivity, whether it's off, standard, or adaptive. And down here, this lever is where you control the Distronic system. Press this to activate, and here is where you adjust the follow distance. You pull to activate it, you push to switch it off, and then you push up and down to adjust the speed. So taking control of the wheel back from the machine, the 212 E-Class, like the 204 C-Class I reviewed earlier, this I would say is really the best modern E-Class. I mean, I've driven the 213 a few occasions, but somehow the 212 just feels like a much more solid car in comparison. Now, I actually much prefer the older 1.8 CGI engine that came with the pre-facelift 212, but here the M274 2-liter engine, somehow it feels not too badly tuned here in the 212. Contrasted my experiences with that engine in the 205 or the 213. The M274 2-liter engine here in the 212, it drives not bad, right? It pulls well enough, it pulls strongly enough. It is not as sharp handling as the 5 Series, but it is also definitely more assuring to drive than the newer 213 E-Class. Even this one with the steering assist systems, somehow the steering, it still feels pleasantly communicative, and the weighting on the steering is pretty well judged. The ride too, right, considering that this car is an AMG spec car, now I'm driving over some less than pleasant stretches of road. It is firm, but there is that sense of authority from the suspension in the way it thumps out all the bumps and potholes and patches on the road in a way that the newer Mercs don't quite seem to manage. So driving this immediately after experiencing the 204 C-Class recently confirms my belief that the peak era of quality and engineering for modern Mercedes cars happened here in the 204 C-Class and the 212 E-Class, because the cars that followed after that, they certainly don't feel as solid or as well engineered in comparison. So compared to other recent iterations of the E-Class, the 212 is the one that is pretty unique with its somewhat boxy look, similar to the 204 C-Class, which it is contemporary with. Now right here, this was the car that I was driving earlier. This is the Facelift 2014 E250. You will notice from the size of the number plate, this is a Japanese recon model. And you also notice that the grille here is laminated. This is where Mercedes put the radar module for the ADAS system. Now, contrast over this side. This is the pre-facelift model with the distinctive four-eyed look and also the classic Mercedes grille. Now, personally, for me, I've said this before, I've always preferred my E-Class with this classic grille design, but I know that in the Malaysian market, most of the populace actually prefer the sportier AMG line trim. And the AMG line trim also gives you a more aggressive front bumper design. As you see here, the way the corners here flares out, and right here you can see there's this chrome front lip here that gives the front end of this 212 AMG line facelift a more aggressive looking stance. Now we come to the side here, you can see this very simple yet very sporty looking 5 double spoke AMG line alloy wheels, and the side profile overall of the 212 E-Class also is one that is, well, a very pleasant look. It's a very straight up, no nonsense 3-box design. Now with the 212 facelift, Mercedes actually made changes to the sheet metal, which is not common. You see this line here that runs straight into the door. In the pre-facelift car, this actually runs down following the curvature of the wheel arch, and I actually much prefer that design because that design was a tribute to the old Mercedes pontons of the, well, 1940s or 1950s. This, because it was a later amendment, this design somehow never quite gelled in my opinion. So this unit also has the chrome door frames. Unlike some AMG line units where they have the night package, this is blackened out, a very expensive option. You come to the back here, this unit also has a very subtle black ducktail spoiler. The tail lights of the 212 facelift also has been significantly altered, although it is of the same shape as the pre-facelift car. Once again, I actually like the pre-facelift tail lights better myself. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section below. And this example here actually has a reverse camera, so it's integrated here nicely at the boot. Okay, and what is this? Ultimate driving machine, what the hell? Okay, so being AMG line trim, you also have the double-sided exhaust layout with this matte diffuser element and some chrome bits here to add a touch of class. Okay, let's pop the boot. All right, so let's check out inside here. Well, you've got a space saver spare tire. Wow, so cute, the battery there. Haha. All right, and this is clever. Look at this. You see the way this one, it hooks here, so it holds this whole floor up so that you can have access to the spare tire or this whatever things that you have chosen to hide down here. Okay, and here, lidded compartment here. This is the, what's this? Okay, another hidden compartment here. Now, the seats of this car have 60/40 split folding, which you can release by pulling these two latches. And let's go. So inside there, you can see now the boot floor is raised here. The idea is that it allows the boot floor to have a somewhat seamless connection with the rear seat backs. Now, why the rear seat backs have to be raised up, cannot be fully flat? One is they are balancing two things. One, they want to keep the boot floor down to maximize the cargo space. But the seats in front, it cannot go too far down because they want to ensure that the seat cushion is still able to give that certain minimum level of comfort, and hence that's why there's this compromise in terms of the floor shape. So let's get inside the car. So I'm 170 centimeters tall and I've got what, a fist of headroom above me. This is an E-Class, remember, so confirm the space-wise is good one. Okay, I've got good lean angle, fantastic legroom in front of me. The driver's seat, remember, was set to my configuration, and basically there's enough space here for me to lounge, because remember, the E-Class, more than any other car in this segment, is perhaps the most chauffeur driven compared to the 5 Series, the S90 and all that. So definitely Mercedes really paid attention to ensure rear passenger comfort is properly taken care of here. So you've got the armrest. Look at this. So you open this up, storage compartment, okay, fabric line, carpet line, not bad. And the mechanism feels solid, so you can close this back and you can use this to hold your drinks. So in terms of the upholstery, this AMG line unit is, well, it's finished with this. It has this leather finish here and partial Alcantara on the seat. So it's a 2 material concept here. Isofix mounts, there's this rubber flap which actually push in to access the Isofix mounts. Okay, then after that, release, just bring it out. Rear aircon vents here, and inside here 12-volt socket, as well as what looks to be the ashtray. Now this is obviously not factory color. Underneath here is just a regular carpet, so the previous owner of this car, well, put this here as additional protection. Not to my taste, but it's something that can be easily removed. So let's check out the front. All right. Wow, inside damn hot. I start aircon first. Okay, so as I mentioned in my 204 review, Mercedes has a good habit of putting their seat controls at the door. Now, it is not easy for us accustomed to other makes to get used to, but it makes sense because you can adjust the seats conveniently standing up outside the car before getting in. And you've got 3 memory settings. You've got door lock and unlock button here at the door. And here's the best part. They have it on the passenger side as well. So this is great, right? And the front passenger also has 3 memory settings. Now, another thing that I like about the E-Class is this. You've got a nice, proper, classy analog clock. I've always liked seeing analog clocks in the car. Analog clocks on the dashboard just makes the car properly classy. Okay, and as I've said also in my review of the 204, quality-wise, the 212's cabin really, to me, is impeccable. And I can point out a few signs that shows that, well, this car was not given the most meticulous care by the previous owner. Okay, there's some marks here, and this being the most frequent contact point, okay, it's not so smooth already. But what this tells me, despite these signs of wear and tear, the rest of the cabin, everything in here, no squeak, no rattle. Go through bump, bad patches of road, nothing creaks. So it indicates that this car is built to an extremely high level of solidness in terms of its cabin construction. Now, the design wise of this center console, this tells you the age of the car. It's not the modern type where you have one large touchscreen here. This is an artifact of its era. This was a time where car makers were still finding their direction with regards to infotainment system. So a lot of the things that we see here was cutting edge at the time this car was launched, but perhaps they don't quite make sense for us today. But you look at it from the perspective of today, right, where now cars have a whole sea of screens. You look at the effort and resources expended that they have to build and engineer each individual button. The costs actually of building this part is not cheap. And what impresses me once again is the overall tactile feel. Every button inside here just feels solid, feels pleasant. The only thing I miss in this car perhaps is the center gear stick. This one has the electronic steering column mounted gear shifter, which Of course, frees up space here in the middle, but I miss that the satisfying roll of the gear lever. Yeah, but well, overall, I have to say, this cabin, design-wise, well, not quite up to modern taste, but quality, absolutely solid, bulletproof, peerless, absolutely peerless. So even as someone who is, well, I would say quite partial to the BMW 5 Series, the W212 E-Class still distinguishes as an excellent day-to-day companion. This car is just so easy to live with, and you compare this with the 213 generation of E-Class that came later on. The sense of mechanical integrity in this car, the way the steering responds to you, the way the engine responds to your throttle inputs, you know, how the suspension copes with the tarmac, and the way all the buttons react to you, it shows the effort that was put in this car at the engineering phase, and also the attention to detail when constructing the car with the intention of delivering a high quality product. Now, granted, this car is not half as pretty as the 213 E-Class that followed, but it really feels at least twice or three times more solidly put together than its successor model. So to conclude, the 212 E-Class, this facelift spec, there is no doubt this is an automobile of the highest quality. And if you are looking for value, this one gives you the full suite of ADAS features that is extremely difficult to find in the Malaysian market. But it is a fantastic day-to-day companion. The solidness of this car, it's just extremely pleasing to drive and to experience. So that's it from me today. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and do share with me your thoughts in the comment section, especially if you are an owner or if you have owned the W212 E-Class. Do share your ownership experience down in the comment section. Let those who are considering this car know what they're getting themselves into. If you have not done so, highly appreciate it if you could subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell also, so that you know the next time I upload a new video, whether it is a car review or a new installment of my car care series. Do also check out the YouTube channels of all my other Horizon team members as well. And remember, if you need car buying advice, every Monday night, Bobby, Tana, Thomas and myself will take your car buying questions live on Facebook and on YouTube. So until my next video, take care, stay safe, and I will see you soon.